Assign.
Assign.
I've been assigned the task of looking after the new students.
Jan's been assigned to the Asian Affairs Bureau.
Madison was assigned to investigate a balloon accident.
Assign each student a partner.
How much time have you assigned for the meeting?
A code was assigned to each batch of work.
A personal bodyguard had been assigned to her.
They assigned me a small room.
Assignation.
Assignation.
Assignment.
Assignment.
She's gone to Italy on a special assignment.
He was killed while on assignment abroad.
A history assignment.
An aeroplane seat assignment.
Assimilate.
Assimilate.
It will take time to assimilate all these facts. Refugees find it difficult to become assimilated into the community.
Assimilation.
Assimilation.
Assist.
Assist.
You will be employed to assist in the development of new equipment.
We want to assist people to stay in their own homes.
They had no maps to assist them.
Assistance.
Assistance.
We offer financial assistance to students.
Can I be of any assistance?
We've rebuilt the theater with the assistance of the National Lottery.
Assistant.
Assistant.
A clerical assistant.
Assistant professor.
Assistant professor.
Assisted death.
Assisted death.
Assisted reproduction.
Assisted reproduction.
Assisted suicide.
Assisted suicide.
Assistive technology.
Assistive technology.
Assizes.
Assizes.
Associate.
Associate.
I don't associate him with energetic sports. Problems associated with cancer treatment. He did not associate himself with the pro-democracy movement. I don't like these layabouts you're associating with. One of his business associates.
Associated company.
Associated company.
Associate of arts.
Associate of arts.
Associate professor.
Associate professor.
Association.
Association.
The Association of Master Builders.
His close association with the Green Party.
Concerts sponsored by the Arts Council in association with local businesses.
The strong association between the disease and middle-aged women.
Scotland has all kinds of happy associations for me.
Association football.
Association football.
Associative.
Associative.
The brain's ability to form associative links between different things.
Assonance.
Assonance.
Assorted.
Assorted.
Paintbrushes in assorted sizes. Assorted vegetables.
Assortment.
Assortment.
A wide assortment of friends. An odd assortment of knives and forks.
Assuage.
Assuage.
Nothing could assuage his guilt.
Assume.
Assume.
I didn't see your car, so I assumed you'd gone out.
It seems reasonable to assume that the book was written around 70 AD.
I think we can safely assume that interest rates will go up again soon.
Let us assume for a moment that we could indeed fire her. Should we?
The rest of the system is assumed to be functioning well.
When it got to midnight and Paul was still not back, I began to assume the worst.
Whoever they appoint will assume responsibility for all financial matters.
He assumed power in a bloody coup in 1990.
Jim Payton will assume the role of managing director.
Andy assumed an air of indifference whenever her name was mentioned. These relationships assume great importance in times of crisis. The problem is beginning to assume massive proportions. The theory assumes that both labour and capital are mobile.
Cohen's economic forecast assumes a 3.5% growth rate.
Assumed name.
Assumed name. He's been living in Peru under an assumed name.
Assuming.
Assuming. Assuming that you get a place at university, how are you going to finance your studies?
Assumption.
Assumption.
A lot of people make the assumption that poverty only exists in the third world.
My calculations were based on the assumption that house prices would remain steady.
People make a lot of assumptions about me.
The assumption of responsibility.
Assurance.
Assurance.
Despite my repeated assurances, Rob still looked very nervous.
He gave an assurance that the work would be completed by Wednesday.
The calm assurance with which she handled the horse.
Jack will never agree to that, he said with assurance.
Assure.
Assure.
Her doctor has assured us that she'll be fine.
The document is genuine, I can assure you. The dealer had assured me of its quality.
Excellent reviews have assured the film's success.
A win on Saturday will assure them of promotion to Division 1.
Tim waited a moment to assure himself that he was not being followed.
I took steps to assure myself of her guilt.
Assured.
Assured.
An assured manner. His victory means that he is now assured of a place in the final. Her political future looks assured.
Assuredly.
Assuredly.
I am most assuredly in favour.
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Astern.
Astern.
Asteroid.
Asteroid.
Asthma.
Asthma.
Asthmatic.
Asthmatic.
My son's asthmatic.
An asthmatic attack.
Astigmatism.
Astigmatism.
Astonish.
Astonish.
Her reply astonished me. It astonished him that she had changed so little. What astonishes me most is his complete lack of fear.
Astonished.
Astonished.
We were astonished to find the temple still in its original condition.
I was astonished by the result. I'm astonished that you should even think such a thing.
Astonishing.
Astonishing.
An astonishing decision.
Their astonishing success. An astonishingly good voice.
Astonishment.
Astonishment.
She stared at him in astonishment.
To my astonishment, the car was gone.
Astound.
Astound.
The judge's decision astounded everyone.
It astounded me that she succeeded.
Astounded.
Astounded.
She was astounded by his arrogance.
Astounding.
Astounding.
The concert was an astounding success.
Astoundingly beautiful scenery.
Astrakhan.
Astrakhan.
Astral.
Astral.
Out-of-body experiences and astral travel.
Astray.
Astray.
The letter had gone astray in the post. The best laid plans can go astray.
The older boys led him astray.
It's easy to be led astray by the reports in the papers.
Astride.
Astride.
A photograph of my mother sitting astride a horse.
The ancient town of Bridgewater, astride the River Parrot, is an ideal touring centre.
Astringent.
Astringent.
Astringent remarks.
Astringent.
Astro. Astra. Astro.
An astronaut.
Astronomy.
Astrologer.
Astrologer.
Astrology.
Astrology.
Astronaut.
Astronaut.
Astronomer.
Astronomer.
Astronomical.
Astronomical.
Astronomically high rents.
Astronomy.
Astronomy.
Astrophysics.
Astrophysics.
AstroTurf.
AstroTurf.
Astute.
Astute.
An astute politician.
Astute investments.
Asunder.
Asunder.
A nation torn asunder by internal conflicts.
Asylum.
Asylum.
He has been granted asylum in France.
Asylum seeker.
Asylum seeker.
The government halted its policy of returning Zimbabwean asylum seekers to their homeland.
Asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical patterns.
Asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic.
Asynchronous. Asynchronous.
At. At. They live at 18 Victoria Street. Does this train stop at Preston? I was waiting at the bus stop.
Liz and her friend sat down at a corner table.
Turn left at the church.
We'll meet at Harry's. I spent an unpleasant hour at the dentist's. Dad's at work.
At the top of the stairs, she paused.
I met my wife at a disco.
The matter was discussed at a meeting of the Finance Committee. I'm sorry, Pam's at lunch just now. Is Jessica still at school?
Hume was a student at Oxford in the 1960s.
The film starts at 8 o'clock.
My husband often works at night.
We go to midnight mass at Christmas.
He gazed up at the sky.
You don't have to shout at me.
The older girls used to throw stones at me. The course is aimed at those aged 16 or over.
The children all laughed at his jokes.
I'm surprised at you. Dad got really mad at me for scratching the car.
Her distress at having to leave.
Barbara's getting on really well at her new job.
I've always been good at maths. Matt's bad at handling people. He's an expert at making things out of junk. Two nations at war.
Many children are still at risk from neglect or abuse.
Old books selling at 10 cents each.
You should have more sense at your age.
The Renault was travelling at about 50 miles per hour. The Renault was travelling at about 50 miles per hour.
Amanda rode off at a gallop.
The garden is at its best in June.
This was Federer at his most powerful.
I clutched at the rope.
George was just picking at his food. Sarah took another sip at her wine.
The students' first attempt at a piece of research. They were so beautiful that I decided to have a go at growing them.
Chapman visited Austria at the invitation of his friend Hugo Meisel. At my suggestion, Bernard went to see his former teacher. I'm just going for a cup of coffee. Shall I bring you one while I'm at it? She's at it again, interfering in other people's business.
It's a new idea and a good one at that.
Tess called him a liar, and at that he stormed out of the room.
Atavistic.
Atavistic.
8.
8.
8. Ut.
It. 8.
Affectionate.
Activate. Regulate. The electorate.
She was awarded her doctorate. Phosphate. Fortunately.
Atelier.
Atelier.
Atheism.
Atheism.
Athlete.
Athlete.
A professional athlete. I was a natural athlete as a kid.
Athlete's foot.
Athlete's foot.
Athletic.
Athletic.
A tall, athletic man.
Athletic ability.
Athleticism.
Athleticism.
Athletics.
Athletics.
Athon. Athon.
A swimathon.
Asian.
Asian.
An examination of the contents. The combination of several factors.
A tissue.
A tissue.
Ative. Ative.
Ative.
Talkative. Argumentative. Imaginative.
Atlas.
Atlas.
ATM.
ATM.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
The hotel had a lovely relaxed atmosphere. The atmosphere at home was rather tense. An atmosphere of optimism dominated the conference.
The castle was centuries old and full of atmosphere. The match was lacking in atmosphere. A smoky atmosphere.
Atmospheric.
Atmospheric.
Atmospheric pressure.
The atmospheric decor in the restaurant.
Atmospheric music.
Atmospherics.
Atmospherics.
Atoll.
Atoll.
Atom.
Atom.
Carbon atoms.
2 atoms of hydrogen.
There isn't an atom of truth in it. Atomic.
Atomic.
Atomic power.
An atomic submarine.
Atomic weight.
Atomic bomb.
Atomic bomb.
Atomic energy.
Atomic energy.
Atomic number.
Atomic number.
Atomize.
Atomize.
A society that has become atomized.
Atomizer.
Atomizer.
Atonal.
Atonal.
Atone.
Atone.
Richard was anxious to atone for his thoughtlessness.
Atonement.
Atonement.
The priest is a representative of his people, making atonement for their sin.
Atop.
Atop.
Ater.
Ater.
A narrator.
A generator.
A to Z.
A to Z.
At risk.
At risk.
Atrium.
Atrium.
Atrocious.
Atrocious.
Atrocious weather. The singing was atrocious.
Atrocity.
Atrocity.
Atrophy.
Atrophy.
Therapy to prevent the leg muscles from atrophying.
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
Attach.
Attach.
Attach a recent photograph to your application form.
A small battery attached to a little loudspeaker. Please fill in and return the attached reply slip. It's easy to become attached to the children you work with.
People attach too much importance to economic forecasts.
No blame can be attached to Roy for the incident.
It's easy to let the emotions attached to one situation spill over into others. It's easy to let the emotions attached to one situation spill over into others. He was attached to the Foreign Affairs Department of a Japanese newspaper.
The Food Ministry is attached to the Ministry of Agriculture.
A young man from Canada had attached himself to Sam.
When approving a merger, the Commission can attach conditions. You can't really attach a label to this type of art.
Attaché.
Attaché.
A cultural attaché.
Attaché case.
Attaché case.
Attachment.
Attachment.
A child's attachment to its mother. The vacuum cleaner has various attachments.
Old people's attachment to traditional customs. I'll send the spreadsheet as an attachment.
Hooks were fixed to the wall for the attachment of the ropes. The attachments that secure your boots firmly to the skis.
He was sent on attachment to their offices in Hong Kong.
Attack.
Attack.
There have been several attacks on foreigners recently.
A bomb attack.
A knife attack. An arson attack. Victims of racial attacks.
The attack began at dawn.
The attack on Pearl Harbor.
Once again, we came under attack from enemy fighter planes.
Rebel forces launched an attack late Sunday night.
The threat of nuclear attack.
The magazine recently published a vicious personal attack on the novelist.
The company has come under fierce attack for its decision to close the factory.
I had a bad attack of flu at Christmas.
He died after suffering a severe asthma attack. Her heart began to pound frantically as if she were having a panic attack.
A sudden attack of nerves.
The new measures were seen by many as an attack on the Scottish way of life.
Heath will play alongside Smith in attack.
Unfortunately, the carved ceilings have suffered woodworm attack over the years. She was attacked while walking home late at night.
His shop was attacked by a gang of youths.
Snakes will only attack if you disturb them.
He needed 200 stitches after being attacked with a broken bottle.
Army tanks attacked a village near the capital on Sunday.
Last year, Dr. Travis publicly attacked the idea that abortion should be available on demand. Newspapers attacked the government for failing to cut taxes.
A cruel disease that attacks the brain and nervous system.
She immediately set about attacking the problem. Martin attacked his meal with vigour.
Brazil began to attack more in the second half of the match.
Attack ad.
Attack ad.
Attacker.
Attacker.
Her attacker then dragged her into the bushes.
A sex attacker.
At a girl.
At a girl.
Attain.
Attain.
More women are attaining positions of power.
Share prices attained a high of $3.27.
After a year, she had attained her ideal weight. This target should be attainable.
Attainment.
Attainment.
A low level of educational attainment.
A society remarkable for its cultural attainments.
Attempt.
Attempt.
All attempts to control inflation have failed.
Her feeble attempts at humor.
She passed her driving test at the first attempt.
He made no attempt to hide his anger. She has already survived 2 attempts on her life.
Attempt.
In this chapter, I will attempt to explain what led up to the revolution. Weather conditions prevented them from attempting the jump. He pleaded guilty to attempted murder.
Attend.
Attend.
Only 12 people attended the meeting. Please let us know if you are unable to attend. I am the first child in my family to attend college. The peculiar atmosphere which attends such an event.
On his deathbed, the general was attended by several doctors.
I may be late. I have got 1 or 2 things to attend to.
Attendance.
Attendance.
We have an average attendance of 4,000 fans per game. Last year's fair saw attendance figures of 32,000. Most courses involve an average of 8 hours attendance at college each week.
The doctor will have a record of her attendances.
Over 2,000 people were in attendance at yesterday's demonstration.
Attendant.
Attendant.
A car park attendant.
Nuclear power with all its attendant risks.
Drugs are one of the issues attendant on running a school.
Attendee.
Attendee.